This video is sponsored by you and me. If you'd like to help me out, consider joining my Patreon. Thank you. Enjoy the video. Someone kindly asked me how do I color these videos, what do I use to color grade, and I'm gonna go over that in this video. A couple disclaimers before we get started. I'm not a pro, I'm a novice, I do this as a hobby, I'm a full-time musician. This is just like something I'm trying to figure out how to do because I've wanted to figure out how to do it since I was a child. I'm not recording in ProRes, I'm using a really cheap, stupid SD card inside of this beautiful, expensive camera. I am not doing this in the most efficient way. I would like to, but I'm getting there. It's a slow process that I'm learning over time. The point of this video is to highlight how good Dehancer is for someone like me. That brings me to my second point, which is I use Final Cut Pro, and Dehancer has a great Final Cut plugin that basically just does all the work for me. All I have to do is input a couple things. And yeah, so that's another reason why I like Dehancer. My third and final disclaimer before this video really gets going is just that I think this Dehancer plugin looks really good. I think I can make the footage that I take look very similar, if not identical, to like some of my favorite movies, like, you know, some PTA films or like early Scorsese pictures when he was still shooting on film. I like that look. This kind of gets me there enough to where at least I am fooled, and it seems like some of you guys are fooled as well, so this is all good news for everyone. One of the first things I should disclose is that I'm shooting an F-Log2. I have something on the camera that makes it look like I'm not shooting an F-Log. It deepens the color, I don't know what they call that, but I have that turned on so I can get a decent idea of what the exposure is going to look like. And I like to keep my exposure meter like one stop underexposed, if not, you know, like 1.5, sometimes even 2. I like a darker image. I think Dehancer really excels at making things look grungy and gritty and, like, you know, realistically film-like. I don't know. This is Dehancer turned off. Quite a bleak world, huh? No color. And then this is Dehancer turned on. Boom. Beautiful. Rich. Maybe my skin looks bad. I don't know. But the colors, oh, colors, they're incredible. Look at these colors. Check out these vines over here. Look how beautiful these vines are. They're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. See, if we turn Dehancer off, ew, I don't like that. But then we turn Dehancer back on, boom, beautiful, gorgeous, deep, rich, exciting. Now let me show you how my Dehancer looks when I use it, how I set it up, and you can just copy me if you want. Okay, so here we are in Final Cut. We're gonna start a new project, do a custom resolution, 3000 by 2000. It's just where I'm at with it right now. I don't know if it's correct or not, and I don't care. And now we're going to upload some clips. So I made a little edit, boom, 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 boom. And now I'm going to grab an adjustment layer, put it over top, and this is where I'm going to put Dehancer. So we'll go to We'll go over to Film Emulation, and you can see all the presets that I've made in the last couple months, having been using it for a little while. This is one preset, but I like doing it fresh every time, and then I save them when I'm done. That's why I have so many. So let's do a fresh one. Just drag Dehancer on. It looks weird at first because you gotta choose your camera. I'm using a Fujifilm X-H2s and F-Log2, and this is what it starts us out with. I am not crazy about the reds in the skin, but it does look good. What I like to do is I like to pick one that has, so the thing is I like the saturation of this film profile and the depth of color, but I don't like the colors themselves. So what I do is I find a film profile that has colors that I like. Takes some time. That one's cool. That one's alright. I'm going for something a little more blue, without touching the white balance and stuff. I think I'm gonna go with Velvia 100 on this one. And to get that richness and color, I'm gonna come down to Film Developer and I'm gonna boost the contrast and then match the gamma to correct it. Then we're gonna turn it on, and that's what it does to the color. Might be a little extreme. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. So let's turn that on and off. And then in film compression, I just boost the tonal range a little bit. I leave everything else where it's at. And that's pretty good. The only other things I mess with are like film grain. I usually, if I'm gonna do it, I'll use the 65mm one. I lately have been leaving halation off. You can really see it up here in the bright bits. I turn that off. I don't know. If I use any of these, I set them to 65mm so I can get the most subtle version of the effect. I think I'll use that actually. That looks good. I leave bloom alone because I'm sorry, but bloom, I don't like it. I haven't found any setting there that I like yet. Film damage I enjoy, 65mm, and film breadth I really love. Sometimes I'll put this all the way down to 16mm and it'll give it a nice fluttery look. But I'll leave that at 35. Gate weave I leave alone because it crops in on the image a little bit. And that's it. That's all that I do. I don't even touch the total impact. But you can see just how drastically it's changing the footage. And yeah. Then when I'm done, I'll save it into the film emulation category. And I'll just call it the date. And that's why I have so many down here. If it's a special film profile, I'll call it what it needs to be. This is one that I use for my band's music videos right now, called I Don't Mind A. That's how it looks. And then there's a darker one called I Don't Mind A with different grammar. So yeah, I name things in weird ways. I love this one. This one looks great. But let's go back and see the one that we made today for July 26th. Yeah, I'm digging this. And then when I'm done, I hit Command Export. I do video and audio at H.264 because it gives me a decently low size file that still looks pretty good. And then we just export it into the video folder and we give it the name of today, Jewel 26. Boom. Oh, we already did one of those today, so we'll call it Jewel 26B. And here we have the finished video, so let's give it a watch. Looks good to me. You know, I really don't fuss much about it. It's an expensive plugin, but it's worth it, in my opinion. I don't know how to use DaVinci Resolve, and I don't want to learn new software right now because I'm in the middle of learning Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. So yeah, this looks beautiful.
Like I said, I don't know if this is what the pros do. I highly doubt it. I think they get a lot more involved. They care about things that maybe I skip over. But again, I'm learning as I go. This is just how I'm doing it now. Somebody asked, and I felt like sharing. I felt like making a little video about this. So yeah. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. This is the direction I'm going in. We're going to try and combine music, art life, and cinematography, or video making, or filmmaking, or whatever you want to call it. We're just going to start throwing it all into one big heap, and we'll just see what comes of that. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Take care of yourself. Enjoy. Drop a line by my Patreon if you like. Help me